Welcome back to the eSIMstudios YouTube channel. I'm going to show you how to mock your location and or show you how to manipulate this device or your device to show that you are in, I don't know, New Orleans when you're actually in South Texas. Now, this is convenient if you want to, well, I'll just put it, look, everybody can use this for whatever they need to. It just comes in handy if you need to essentially look like you're somewhere else when you're really not. Another use case is the online gambling apps. Here in Texas, they've locked everything down. If you're an online gambler, you can't gamble online, place wagers if you're in Texas, like many other states. Now, not only are you gonna, I'm gonna show you, not only are you gonna have to spoof your GPS location, but you're also gonna have to change your IP address because a lot of these betting apps and/or websites not only check for your GPS location, they check for your IP address. So even if you spoof your location to New Orleans when you're really in Texas, the gambling app still won't work because your IP address shows Austin, Texas, right? When you should be in New Orleans. So they'll block you. So I'm going to show you how to do both. But first of all, you need to download an application. This application is called GPS Emulator. You can find it on the Play Store, or you can go to the description box down below, and I'm going to have a link for this in the description box that will take you directly to the Play Store. If you simply click the title of this video, it'll expand the description box down below. You might need to click the description box after you expose it to expand it a little more, but let me show you what it is. It's this one right here, GPS Emulator. So what you're going to want to do is install that on your phone. I'm going to take you through the setups. Very easy. Now, I've already had this installed on my phone. There's one thing you're going to want to do, and that is enable developer options. It's very easy. Again, down in the description box, I'm going to put a set of instructions on how to do it so you can follow it. But just to let you know, go to your settings application. In that little search icon, type in build number. And what you're going to want to do is, out of those options, after you type in build number, select build number. It'll take you right to it in your settings. Tap on that build number 7 times. Just tap, 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 tap until it says developer options enabled. Once you're in developer options, all right, here, go all the way down. Go all the way down. And you're going to want to select mock location app. You're going to want to choose this application. That's going to be your default GPS application. It's going to your GPS location where the GPS sensor emits your GPS location in the phone. It's going to default to wherever the GPS emulator app shows you, right? So we went ahead and selected that. Now, I'm going to choose initial configuration to show you. We've done these first 2 steps right here. Location permission. So you're going to want to select while using the application. Don't do only this time because it'll only show your locations in New Orleans when you're really in Texas only once. You want it to do it all the time, right? So while using this app. Now, battery optimization. For some weird reason, it's not showing up in the list of apps. I've already looked. I think it's a bug or something, which is good because the less you have GPS emulator, if somebody's saying, "Oh, how are you spoofing your location?" It won't show up. I doubt that's the reason, but So here's a way around that: is simply go to your recents, select this app icon up top, hit App Info. Now, you're going to want to go to battery unrestricted. Allow this app to use the battery. This will allow it to run in the background and it won't force close it. You don't want to be emitting your location from New Orleans when you're really in South Texas or in Austin, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, boop, you show up in Austin again. You know, and be like, damn, how'd you get from New Orleans to Austin in 1 second? So unrestricted. And then you're also going to want to do, let's see, permissions. Go to manage app if unused. You want to deselect that or make sure that's turned off. You don't want the phone to manage this app. You want to manage this app, right? You don't want it to automatically turn off for some weird reason. So after you got those, you can go back here. You got that turned off. Allow notifications. So you may or may not want to allow notifications, right? If you share your phone a lot, you might not want to allow notifications. But if you don't care, then who cares, right? So I'm going to allow it just to show you what it looks like. So after you go through the initial configuration, what we can do now, as you can tell, I'm in South Texas. What you can do now, I'm going to put myself in Miami. And it's just selecting a random place, no reason. So we'll put myself here. Sexy Fish Miami. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll go there. So we'll Japanese. Sweet. I'm in the mood for some sushi. So we'll pretend we're there eating. Okay. So after you find a location, you're gonna want to tap this GPS location right there. And then what you're going to want to, you can save it if you want to. So I'll go ahead and favorite it and put Sexy Fish Miami. Just like that. Okay. Now we saved that location, right? Now, real quick, you see it jumping around a little bit? See how it's moving around just every few seconds it'll jump. So that's a setting in these options, and we'll get into how to spoof the IP address in just a second. In these settings, you want this to be turned off. Stop without opening GPS emulator. You don't, well, you can go through, look, before you get all this set up, go through all these settings, make sure everything is A-okay with you, because you might want it to start up on the last used location when you restart your phone on boot. Hide notification on lock screen. You might not want to show that you're using a mock location on your lock screen. Map animation. Here's another one that you might want to take a look at is use Google Play Service location. It's probably best to turn this off because Google Play Services in the background might use, now this has not happened to me before, and not like I use it all the time. It's just nice to have on your phone if you're going to be doing some betting or stuff or, whatever. Google Play Services location. Google Play Services will sometimes use your location for purchase verifications to make sure, everything lines up perfectly. In some other apps in the background might use Google Play Services location. In other words, Google Services might use your location. I want that to be turned off. I don't want Google Play Services to know where my location is. I only want my location emitting from this app and if and when we set up our IP address, right? So randomized position around location. That's what I told you where it looked like it was jumping. If you have this off and you set this location right there, it's going to stay there until you change it. Even if, again, I'm in South Texas, but the maps are showing me I'm in Miami. Well, if I don't move this location and let's say somebody's checking on your location, like a girlfriend or a boyfriend or anybody, it's going to show you that you're there until you move it. So if you don't move it for like a whole weekend, you're like, damn, yeah. You've been at Sexy Fish since Friday? And it's like Monday morning. You're like, whatever. I'm just throwing something out there. Or hey, I'm going to dinner and somebody checks on you the whole time you're out at dinner and you literally don't move for 2 hours. That looks a little fishy too. No pun intended with the Sexy Fish Miami. So if you do this where you go to randomized position around location, it looks like you're going to the bathroom or it looks like it's actively, moving. not everybody stays in the same place for hours on end. So that's just something to think about. Now, let's see. You can have your pinned locations here, your bookmarks here. I've never used this for driving, GPS driving. So I don't even know what that does. I've never selected that before. Whatever. Okay. So let's do this. So that's how to spoof your GPS, right? And let's say to turn it off, you simply do this. And let me show you, so we're in GPS emulator. Let me show you what it looks like on Google Maps. So look, here's Google Maps. Here's another phone. I'm signed, I have 2 Gmail accounts. Well, I have more than that, but this is an example. So my GPS location on the phone that I set up has me in Miami. This is Google Maps, right? But my real main account, where I'm really located, shit, I gotta turn on my GPS. Hang on. I turned on my location. So my real account, my main account, look, see where the blue dot is? Has me in South Texas, but Google Maps that I did the GPS spoofing shows me in Miami. So that's just proof that you can even spoof your Google Maps, the default map application, to show where you, and if you're sharing your location, let me share this location to this account, and I'll show you what it looks like too. So if somebody's checking up on you from their phone, I'll show you what it looks like. Boom. So I shared my location in Google Maps from my second account to my main account, and look, it's showing that I'm in Miami. So that's a way to show that you're somewhere else when you're really not. So let me show you how to link up and or get your IP address set up. So if you want to do some online betting, online gambling, now you can do this with a VPN app. So I use ExpressVPN and NordVPN. And I think most VPN applications have something in there where it will allow you to set a dedicated IP address. So when I immediately open ExpressVPN, you can see up top, it wants you to set up a dedicated IP address, meaning a custom IP address that your phone will go off of, and or apps or websites or whatever you go to. So we're going to select Setup Now. And this will work anywhere around the world, right? You don't have to just be in the United States. You can literally do it anywhere. So I'm going to do Setup Dedicated IP Address. Here, got a list of different places. United States. We'll do I guess since I'm already in Miami, we'll do Miami. Let me set up my access code. Hang on. Okay, after setting a password for the dedicated, it's an access code. You can copy or save your access code and keep it somewhere safe. If you lose your access code, ExpressVPN cannot recover it for you, and you will lose your dedicated IP. So I'm done there. So technically, right now, I'm in Miami. Well, I guess technically I'm in South Texas, but on this phone right now thinks I'm in Miami because my GPS location has me in Miami, and the IP address has me in Miami. So if you're on the betting apps, if you like to do that stuff, here's a way to do it. If you're trying to get around somebody snooping around to see where you're at all the time, here's another way to do it. Now, you don't have to set up the IP address, the dedicated custom IP address, if somebody's snooping around on your location. Like, let me show you another thing too. So if you use a location sharing app like Life360, it's really good if you have kids and stuff. I'm not promoting their services, but I use it personally to help see where my daughter's at, right? Or somebody else. If you do the same thing, but trying to be somewhere where you're not supposed to, shame on you. You can even spoof Life360 in any other application. So let me show you that. Let me open up my Life360, but I'm going to pause this so I don't dox myself. Hang on. Boom, look at that. So I just opened up Life360. I have my I have my, see, it shows my daughter's at home. Everybody's at home right now, which is not Miami. I'm in South Texas. But even on, I'm just using this as an example, even on the Share Life 360 and other apps that you can share your location. I just showed you Google Maps. I shared my Google Maps location from this spoofed account to my main account, and my main account thinks this account is in Miami. Life 360 thinks I'm near South Miami Avenue, and I'm not. So again, if you just want to spoof your location, I think the GPS emulator application is a-okay. It'll show up on all this. But if you want to go one step further and do the IP address, that helps with the betting apps and stuff. If you want to be like a covert CIA officer, agent, and you really want to get undercover, I would definitely do both. However, just to give you some information, that doesn't totally, doing these two things, doing the GPS spoofing and the IP address spoofing where it has you in a location, there's one main thing, because last thing I want to do is have somebody use this to try and put them where they're, put them in Miami and then they commit a crime in Austin, Texas. Well, one thing you can't get past is your carrier services. So your phone uses, so if you have T-Mobile, your phone is connected to a T-Mobile tower. That's how the cops know where you're at. So even if you try and use this, and I'm not certainly not implying and or encouraging you or anyone to go out there and use this to commit a crime. I'm certainly not doing that, right? But if you attempt to do that, this is not going to totally vindicate you from that crime, because what they're going to do, the authorities are going to pull the carrier network services location, and it'll show what tower your phone is connected to, right? So even if you spoof your GPS location to Miami and you spoof your IP address to Miami, but you want to commit a crime in Austin, well, they'll still take these carrier services to court, right? And they're gonna say, well, yeah, it shows him in Miami with his GPS and IP address, but his phone was still in Austin because his phone was connected to T-Mobile Tower 65928, right? So there's that. So don't get too far ahead of yourselves, right? I guess the only way to get around that, and again, I'm not encouraging this, but I'm just thinking out loud. You could use a VoIP service for, like, if you don't want to use T-Mobile, you could use like Google Voice, but you'd have to take a SIM card out, because your SIM, as long as you have an eSIM or a physical SIM, it's always going to be connected to the tower. Now, what if you turn that SIM off in your network settings? Even if you turn it off, that means it's not connected. I don't know. Whatever. Again, I'm just thinking out loud, but just be mindful of, carrier network services is one thing where it pings you to the nearest tower. Can't get around that. But for GPS, for app tracking, and for online betting and gambling, this certainly works. So check out the links down below in the description box. I'll have everything down there for y'all. Links for everything. I do appreciate the time. Hit me up in the comments too. If you got any questions or whatever, I check them every day, so I'll be more than happy to assist you with something or walk you through the setup or some tips and tricks and all that stuff. But appreciate the time. Hope everybody has a great rest of the day. And again, I'm not encouraging you to do anything you're not supposed to. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just showing you there's certain ways to get around stuff. Peace.